Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new, please hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get right into today's video. So as you can see, we are going to be doing a set on the practice hand. It's been quite some time since I've used the practice hand, but the main reason I wanted to was to show you our new tips. We just recently launched our 2XL No Seam Curved Tapered Square Tips on KAIROSE Nail Supply. I really wish I would have compared these to our 3XL square tips just so that way you guys can see like the difference between the tapered square and the regular square, but I did forget to do that. And also later on you will see that I do show another set of tips that we recently launched as well. But getting back to the tutorial, I'm just using those tapered square tips and measuring out the nail sizes just to make sure they fit nicely sidewall to sidewall on this practice hand. And as you can see right there in the corner, we will be using the Nails and Blinks brush on glue to glue all these nail tips down. But back to the nail tips, we did also recently launch our medium length almond nail tips as well. They all come in boxes. We're trying really hard to find nail tips, like nail supply vendors that can provide nail tips in boxes, and we're so lucky to be able to have found a vendor that does provide that. Sometimes it is really hard to find specific vendors that have a variety of nail tips, especially in boxes. So like I said, we're so thankful for our vendor. But very quickly, I was just showing you our smallest size and the almond tips, and our largest size. They do come in 10 sizes with 500 pieces each. And I didn't show it in our video here, but I also do, I did also recently launch some 2XL C curved square tips. That was a request as well, so we did go ahead and provide those for our website as well. We've also been getting tons of requests for different shapes of nail tips, so those are going to be coming very soon. So if you're interested in following what products will be coming, go ahead and follow us on our Instagram page at KAIROSE Nail Supply. We do have tons of updates and everything like that on our Instagram page. So as you can see, I did go ahead and glue all the nail tips using that Nails and Blinks brush on glue. And for the nail length, we are going to be having 5 magnets on our nail tip cutter and just trimming them down to like a medium long length. Once we have all the nail tips trimmed down, I'm just taking my hand file and shaping up the sidewalls just to make sure everything is nicely blended. And then I do right here blend in the nail tip with the natural nail just to have a nice seamless blend when I go in with our acrylic application. So for today's acrylic powder, I will be using Inner Glow from our Sheer Beauty collection. It's a very beautiful milky white color that has a very nice aqua type of glow to it, which you will see at the end. I do show it glowing and everything like that. So getting into the application, I do take a medium-sized bead of acrylic and apply it where the nail tip and the natural nail meet, and then I start slowly patting it down towards the free edge just to help build the structure up in that area. And then I do also like to remember to wipe down the sidewalls and everything like that just to keep the nice shape we do have. I feel like wiping down the sidewalls really does help with your shape, and it will also help you when you go to file, so that way you know where you need to file and how much you need to file in certain spots, if that makes sense. So always remember to wipe down your sidewalls when doing your application. For my next bead, I am taking another medium-sized bead of acrylic and I'm placing it right below the cuticle area, and I'm using the tip of my brush to gently push it up in that area, and then this will help build the apex and everything like that. But since it is a practice set, I don't really like to build up the structure in the apex that a typical client or a person would have, if that makes sense. I just like to get a nice layer of acrylic on the nail, so that way it's not super thin but it's not super thick, and it's just the perfect thickness, I guess, for a practice set. I do also have a more in-depth video of me doing acrylic application on a practice hand to help build up the apex and the structure. So if you are interested in watching that video, I do have it in my beginners playlist. So like I said, if you're interested, I do have tons of tutorials in that playlist. I do, like I said, I have the acrylic application in that playlist. I have building the apex, shaping, a shaping tutorial on how to shape nails and everything like that. So like I said, if you're a beginner and you're interested in seeing how to do that, or at least how I do that, go ahead and check out that playlist. But for now, I will go ahead and let you guys watch the rest of the acrylic application play out, and I will come back in once it's time to shape and file. So these are what the nails are looking like after the application has been done and it has dried. So getting into the filing, I am starting off with my hand file and shaping up those sidewalls, making sure to also get underneath the nail to get any acrylic that might have spilled over when doing the application. And then I do like to take my hand file and file over the entire surface of the nail. If you've been watching my recent videos of me doing acrylic type of nails, you've probably heard me mention that I'm trying to switch my filing methods, if that makes sense. I've switched them so many times, but I'm back to using my hand file for the surface of the nail and then just going in with a fine grit sanding band. I mean, not fine grit sanding band, fine 501 drill bit around the cuticle area and everything like that. You'll see that more later on after I'm done shaping up the nails with the hand file, but just stick with what you feel is necessary for you, if that makes sense, or your personal preference on how you want to file. It's okay to also switch up constantly to find what works for you. So just keep that in mind. If you see me, for example, just filing over the surface of the nail with a hand file and you want to try that and it does not work for you, it is okay to find a different method that does work for you. You don't have to stick with what you see on YouTube or other nail techs do. Always find with what works for you. And then here I am just taking my fine 501 taper drill bit and going around the cuticle area just to make sure that is nicely blended, and I do work that over the entire surface of the nail to smooth it out even further. And for reference, I do have my drill at the speed of 11,000 RPMs. I did go ahead and bump it up from 9,000 to 11,000 RPMs. I feel like this speed works a bit better than the 9,000 RPM speed that I used to do. But that is also just my personal preference of switching things up. But always remember, you can find what works for you and it will also be okay. And then here I did go ahead and flip the hand over and I'm just filing the free edge just to make sure that is nice and straight as well. I do kind of file at an angle so that way it kind of creates a slight moon cut shape, if that makes sense, or the moon free edge shape, if that makes sense. That's what I am going for. And then I flip the hand back over and go back in with my fine taper drill bit and kind of file underneath the free edge just to kind of thin it out a bit, because when I do file with my hand file on the free edge, it kind of thickens it up. So I do want to have it a bit thin, but not too thin, if that makes sense. And then I did quickly go in with my buffer to buff out the surface for our nail art. So for today's nail art, I will be using the metal painting gel from Born Pretty. If you have not seen my unboxing, I believe it's my previous video or one of my previous videos, I did a little unboxing from Born Pretty, and this was one of the products that they sent me. So along with the metal painting gel, I will be using these rhinestones here on the bottom. So getting into the nail art, I am taking my 18mm liner brush. This is from our website on KAIROSE Nail Supply, and I will be creating a spider web on the ring nail. My main thing about this metal painting gel, let's get into what I love about it. I absolutely love how shiny and chromy it looks, if that makes sense. The one thing I absolutely don't really like is how it's super watery. I have a metal painting gel or a chrome painting gel from Temu, I believe it was, and it's a bit thicker and it works perfectly for me. But like I said, here you can see how it just creates a big blob from the painting gel because it's so watery. But that is just my personal preference. I prefer it to be a bit more thicker, like an actual painting gel, rather than it being watery. But other than that, it does work wonderfully. The color, the shine and everything like that is just super amazing. And I love how nice and chrome it is. So as you can see, I did switch over to my 12mm liner brush, and this is going to help create those little lines for the web effect. And then I do kind of just make sure everything is nicely perfected, if that makes sense. And then once I have the spider web done, I do go ahead and cure in the light for 30 seconds. So for this next portion, I am going to be creating kind of like a spider using those rhinestones. So I'm taking my McCart rhinestone glue and I'm placing it where I want the two rhinestones to be. And for the spider, I will be doing one big rhinestone, and that will be the bottom portion of the spider, and then one smaller rhinestone, which will be the top head portion of the spider, if that makes sense. And then after I have that placed, I do go ahead and take my little LED flash cure light and cure that. This is from Nail Slayer Supply. So if you're interested, go ahead and check them out. They do have not a lot of nail supply products, but this is one of the products I did get from their website, and I do love it just for quick flash curing. But once that is done flash curing, I am going back in with my 12mm liner brush and creating the legs for the spider using that same metal painting gel. Once I am done with the legs, I do go ahead and cure again for 30 seconds in the nail light. Now getting on to the rest of the nail art, for the index nail and the pinky nail, I will be creating like a French tip outline, or like I will be doing the smile line for some sort of French tip, but instead of infilling that, I will be doing some spider web. So I am just, like I said, doing the smile line, and I feel like this was perfect and I didn't want to mess it up, so I'm just quickly flash curing that. And then after that, I am creating the lines for the web effect. And then for this, I did go ahead and switch back to my 18mm liner brush. I do also quickly want to mention, before I do forget, we are having our Halloween sale on our website. It does save you 30% on your orders along with free shipping. So if you're interested in any of our products, go ahead and check out our website. We also did just recently do a huge restock. It was probably one of the hugest restocks we've done this year. So go ahead and check out all of that. I feel like I'm constantly forgetting to mention our sales, our new products, or anything like that here on my YouTube. I really do try to remember, but sometimes I forget, and when I do remember it, it happens to be like the day before it ends or anything like that. So I'm just trying my hardest to keep up with everything here on YouTube. But if you want to stay more in the loop, go ahead and follow us on our Instagram page at Kairos Nail Supply, and you will see all the updates and everything very quickly. So once I am done doing this design on the index nail, I do go ahead and cure that in the light for 30 seconds. And like I said, I'm doing the same exact thing on the pinky nail, so I will go ahead and just let you guys watch that. So on the middle nail, I did know I wanted to add more spiders using the rhinestone. So again, I'm just taking 2 different sizes of like the circle rhinestones from my little kit that I got off of Amazon. And I'm just placing them where I applied the rhinestone glue and using my little flash cure light to flash cure them. And then I am doing another one right below that towards like the free edge area, and then flash curing that as well. And then once I am done flash curing that, I do also add one little rhinestone along the cuticle area of the index nail and the pinky nail and flash cure that as well. So back to the middle nail, I'm just taking that same metal painting gel and my 12mm liner brush and creating the legs for the spiders. I did kind of mess up on this one, so I did wipe it off using a lint-free wipe and some alcohol, and then I just quickly moved on to the bottom spider there and did the legs there before I did the top one. And then once I am done doing the legs for each of these spiders, I do go ahead and cure for 30 seconds in the nail light. Now this is what the entire set is looking like once everything is completed. So for the top coat, I will be using the Born Pretty top coat. It's very nice and super shiny and everything like that. And it also has a nice consistency to it, so it's not so watery, but it's not like super thick as well. I just figured it was right to use this top coat since I am using the Born Pretty metal painting gel. I kind of wanted to like use the same products, if that makes sense, minus the acrylic powder since that is from my KAIROSE Nail Supply brand. But here when I am top coating, I'm just making sure to press into all the crevices of the nail art just so that way everything is top coated. And once I do complete top coating the nails, I do go ahead and cure for a full 60 seconds in the nail light. Now this is what the nail set is looking like once it's top coated and everything like that. It's super beautiful, and like I said, I am showing a preview of what they look like glowing in the dark. I should have closed my little door here so that way you can see more of the effect, but this is how it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!